This is clearly an attempt to diminish our Second Amendment rights. Instead of trying to erode our Second Amendment rights, I would offer, let's protect our kids. I refuse to allow the erosion of our Second Amendment rights to further disarm our population, making us less safe as a further push toward communism, because that's what happens.
They say, we want to repeal the Second Amendment. Mr. Speaker, we don't want them to repeal the Second Amendment. We want them to read the Second Amendment. Because the Second Amendment would ask us why we are allowing people to go into elementary schools, Walmarts, supermarkets, churches and synagogues all over America with AR-15s enabled sometimes with the stabilizing brace, as in Dayton, Ohio, Boulder, Colorado, Colorado Springs, Nashville, Tennessee, and assassinate our people. Mr. Speaker, thank you, and I want to thank the chairman kindly for his courtesy in granting me 2 minutes. Today's June 13th. We've had 164 days in the year 2023, and we've had 291 mass shootings. We're having, on average, a mass shooting and a half every single day in America. Of course, our colleagues would prefer not to talk about it because they say it's impolite to talk about a mass shooting on the day it happens. And on that theory, we would never talk about it, and we would continue ad infinitum into the carnage and the bloodshed that this unlimited open arms policy is giving America today. A number of my colleagues have invoked the Second Amendment. They only quote half of it. They say the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. What about the first half of it? A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, comma, the right of the people to keep and bear arms. If a foreign government were doing it, we would declare war on them, but since we're just allowing the gun industry to spread these weapons of mass destruction around the country, they want to allow it. And they say that the Second Amendment must be respected in this strange and distorted way because they believe the Second Amendment gives the people the right to overthrow the government. This insurrectionist theory of the Second Amendment means that the people must have an arsenal equal to that of the government. Well, it's very hard to explain the rest of the Constitution then. The Second Amendment doesn't mention anything about rebellion or insurrection. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 15. Could I seek 1 more minute from the chair?
Give the gentleman 1 more minute.
The gentleman from Maryland is recognized for 1 more minute.
Well, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 15 says, Congress has the power to call forth the militias from the states in order to, quote, suppress insurrections. Does that sound like a pro-insurrection document to you? How about the Republican Guarantee Clause? Congress shall guarantee to the people of the states a Republican form of government and assist them in putting down domestic violence. How about the Treason Clause, which says that treason shall consist of levying arms against the Union? I could give you 6 more examples like that, but why don't we pause on Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which says that anybody who has sworn an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States and violates that oath by engaging in, quote, insurrection or rebellion shall never be allowed to hold federal or state office again. So that's not the meaning of our Constitution. The regulation the administration has adopted is perfectly constitutional. So if you want more bloodshed, just stand for that. It's got nothing to do with the Second Amendment. It's perfectly constitutional for us to engage in reasonable gun safety regulation. Check out Heller versus the District of Columbia. Justice Scalia wrote that opinion.